So here I'm going to bend the knees. Let's go ahead and start together. You'll notice my chest drops. I'm grabbing more band, 1. And inhale and exhale, 2. And inhale and exhale, 3. And inhale and 4. As I use the mirror in front of me or my camera, 5. I notice my shoulders if they tend to roll forward. 6 and inhale. It's a fairly dynamic movement. 7 and inhale, but each time I think of, okay, correct my posture at the top. 8 and inhale. 9 and inhale. And 10, and let's take a little pause here. Think about this too when we use the bands. It's much like on the reformer where we have springs. We don't want to ride them, so you slowly come down to that bottom position and we're holding. 1, because we're using gravity, it helps us on this one to make it harder. 2, 3, 4. 5 to the top. So just take a little moment here. You'll notice the warmth in your lower body kind of allows for you to feel a lot warmer. Okay, now we're going to do it again. Same thing. We're going to go to the bottom. If you feel like you're not quite strong enough in that way, feel free to go halfway. Okay, so I'm going to go down to that bottom position. I have this desire to slump, but don't let it happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the top. So good. And I love the quick movements. So that helps us practice what we call agility. So on this next one, it's a partial movement. Making sure I don't miscommunicate this. This is a shorter range of motion than the one you just did. Okay, ready? Let's go. 7 and 6. It's dynamic. 5, 4, kind of quick. 3 and 2, 1, push away all the way. Meaning when we move quicker, that means we can practice that in real life, releasing some of the tension of the band, and now this next one is turned out. When I do this on the reformer with my clients, I always try to make sure that the feet are not maximally turned out. So whatever maximum is here, we're slightly turning inward, and from here we're bending both knees. Bend both knees, sinking down, grab the band, go all the way to the top. 1, inhale, exhale, 2. Drop the chest like you did on the last one, stick the tail out. 3, inhale, and exhale, 4. Shoulders back, and 5. Keep going, inhale, exhale, 6, and in, and 7, and inhale, and 8, and inhale, and 9. Are you firing the glutes a bit at the top? And inhale, and 10. Good. Let's take a moment. We're going to go and sink down to that bottom position, and let's find that muscle endurance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh boy, to the top. And that does for me, it's just right a bit of a challenge for me to feel like, oh, I'm really getting tired now. So this is that, what muscle endurance is just kind of lets you prolong that time. Okay, we're doing it again. Sink, 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 hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, to the top. Good job. Take a pause. Now we're going to go to the quick pumping. Remember, the goal here is agility. So how can you move quickly without it affecting, discomfort? We're not trying to create pain in any of the joints. So let's go. Here we go. 7 and 6. Really dynamic. 5 and 4. 3 and 2. 1 to the top. All right, good job. So as we come out of this, for now, we're going to take this and we're going to put it away. But I want you to go ahead and grab your medium to heavier band to do what we call it's kind of a shoulder warm-up. The biggest shoulder muscles in the body are what we call the lats or the latissimus dorsi. This somewhat simulates it. From here, I happen to have PVC pipes. They are optional, but I do find that they help me work on directing the energy towards the muscles versus just my wrist strength. Using the bands without the pipes tend to irritate my wrists, and they don't work as much of my big muscles, the lats. So as I reach overhead, try it once. If you feel like it's too tight, you can adjust a tad bit. So we're pulling it here in front of our heart, 1. And we're breathing. Exhale, 2, which means the inhale is the return. Notice how I'm kind of going slow both directions. 3, inhale, and exhale, 4, and inhale. As I show the side view in just a moment, 5, the reason why I am showing you this side view is so you remind yourself not to add a back bend. 6, inhale, and that those arms are at the side seams. 7, inhale. Exhale, 8, and inhale. And 9, and inhale. And exhale, 10. And take a break. Okay, good. From here, roll the shoulders back a tad bit. We're going to put our hands right in front. Again, the reason why I'm showing the side view is so you know we don't go behind our side seams or behind our shoulders on this one, and that my arms are completely straightened. Feel free to use a lighter band if you're having trouble with this, okay? So going straight in front of our heart, 1, and inhale. Exhale, 2, and inhale. And 3, and inhale. And exhale, 4, and inhale. 5, are your wrists neutral the whole range, or are they folding over? And 6, and inhale. 7, and inhale. Exhale, 8, and inhale. Oh, I'm kind of done. 9, this is, my form is falling apart. And 10, take a break. Boy, it got to that point where it was fatigued. One of the reasons why we do the difference between muscle endurance and muscular strength is, can we do it one time? That's strength. If we can do it multiple times, we work on muscle endurance. When we hold, that's also muscle endurance, okay? So as we go and move on to the next one, let's go ahead, since we're in this position, to do our single arm movement. It seems to be a good place for us to go to today. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my PVC pipe, adjust it only on one side, put it underneath my right foot or sit on it. I happen to sit down because the camera, it means I don't have to adjust my camera. I'm also doing it because I can do this as a little bit of a break. So if standing for a long period of time bothers you, then please sit down, okay? All right, single arm, and this is the one that helps us push things over in the overhead bin to reach up overhead when we do things, okay? Inhale here, straighten this arm up, 1, and in, and exhale, 2, and inhale, and 3. It's almost robotic. When I try to explain to people why it's so important for it to be robotic, 4, rather than using your whole body. 5, I usually say something along the lines that it doesn't irritate your back when you do this. 6, it works on your core stability. 7, and inhale, and then of course that awareness. I think this is 8, and inhale, and I'm definitely getting tired. This means this is the right band for me. 9, and inhale, and 10, and take a little bit of a break. Okay, for this next one, what I do is I take the PVC pipe away. I put it down for a moment. I'm gonna turn and show you this angle. You don't have to turn with me, but I'm just gonna mentioned, I turn for this one. I had to make sure I don't lose the band. And then from here, the band is behind me in this range. If by chance your shoulder cannot be in this range, you could do one over your shoulder down here and pull straight down. But the band might need to be adjusted depending on how hard it is. You could do this if you prefer, or if your shoulder allows you to reach overhead. I prefer this one because it's a little bit of in that length, as long as you get some range. Cautioning you not to back bend, pull the ribs in a tad, and now move. 1, exhale, 2, inhale, exhale, 3, and in, exhale, 4, and inhale, and 5, and inhale, and 6, and inhale, exhale, 7, and inhale, exhale, 8, and inhale, 9, and inhale, and 10, and take a break. When we do triceps, this is, it's fairly robotic as well. When I do it on the reformer, I actually have people kneeling, which really affects the posture. And I'm only mentioning it to you because I think it's important to tell you like how it applies to what we do in like a more of a traditional Pilates setting. So I'm putting the PVC pipe, putting it in a different way because we're going to get ready to do what I call the W, or the upside down M. So when I do this, I like to put the band over my shoulder, and then I grab it with that, I guess this would be our right hand. I form that M, upside down M, you know, as opposed to like a W, right? An M, and then I'm going to go straight up from here. I love how this anchor point is kind of inward. Inhale before we begin, and we're going to go and push it straight up. Notice my shoulder is not here. It's down. 1. That requires a muscle called the serratus anterior to draw the shoulder blade down. 2, even though I'm pushing the arm overhead. And 3, so that energy doesn't transfer to my neck. And 4, and inhale. Exhale, 5. It's a little easy for me, so meanwhile, I just have to, you know, make it a little tighter. 6, and inhale. This is just right. 7, and inhale. Exhale, 8, and in. 9, and in. And 10. And it is designed to be harder than the first one we did. So meaning this is kind of in the same family of the very first one. Let's switch sides. On this one is where we're going to put it on our left foot. And then from here, we're just going to go straight up as well. So find it. Again, if you're standing, you've got a lot more to have to deal with regards to posture, meaning you have to stand up straight, make sure your belly is not showing that back bend either, so you're engaging those front suspenders. We're putting that hand right by our shoulder. We're going straight up. 1. And inhale. And exhale, 2. And in. And blow it out. 3. And inhale. And exhale, 4. And inhale. And 5. And in. Exhale, 6, and inhale. 7, and inhale, and 8, and always breathing. 9, and inhale. 10, and take a break. And I can tell that I'm getting a little sloppier just because I'm getting a little tired, and I want to caution you to be aware when that happens. Putting the PVC pipe away for this one, I like to go rotate my body so you can see me a little bit better, but reach and find that place that's right for you. So I've got myself in position, and it's just a hinge at the elbow, straightening it out. 1, wrist is neutral. Exhale, 2 and in. Blow it out, 3 and inhale. Exhale, 4 and in. Blow it out, 5 and inhale. Noticing if your thumbs are aching, and 6, adjusting as needed. 7 and inhale. 8 and inhale. Exhale, 9 and in, and 10. And take that break. Take a moment here. Roll the shoulder back if you're noticing some tension showing up. Hey, last one in this family, and I think we're doing a great job. So, just reminding you, take the extra time to make sure the band is not creating too many folds, or your band just won't last very long. So I'm going to put this in my left hand, putting in my right hand and letting my left arm to slide through and getting it behind me. That's the key. And then looking and checking to see if you have that upside down M shape. Inhale before we begin. Exhale overhead, 1 and 2, and inhale. Exhale, 3 and inhale, and 4 and inhale. Exhale, 5 and in. If it feels weird on your shoulder, elbow forward, 6 and in, and 7 and inhale, and 8 and inhale. Exhale, 9 and inhale, and 10 and take a break. Boy, that one was really tough for me. I don't know. That's the one thing with bands that the negative it is if you have one arm that's much stronger, it's hard to tell because some days you may tighten it up more on one side and you just do it based on feel. And then in true life, are you really able to push that luggage in the overhead bin? Or if you have a strong arm, the other one gives it out and you just had no idea because the bands didn't really reveal that to you. So it's one small negative. Hey, I like to grab it kind of depends. You can go light or heavy, but today I'm feeling a little wimpy, so I'm gonna go a little bit lighter. I'm gonna put both hands here. I really, on this one, I could go either way because it's a lighter band on the PVC pipe. I think I will do it. Okay, so from here, I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna tighten it a little tighter than usual, and I'm gonna go out like this. 1, and some days I really like going with a lighter band, 2, because it helps me work fuller range. 3, and inhale. And I'm sure I've said it enough times, 4, that we do this one in particular for shoulder stability. 5, it is one of the smaller muscles, so you don't feel like the same fatigued. 6, and inhale as you might another muscle group. 7, good. And 8, inhale. And 9, and inhale. And 10, take a bit of a break. Let's just go to the other side. We're moving. 1. Yeah, I can tell this is the one this is why my shoulder sometimes is achy. 2 is this one in particular is a little weaker. 3, and inhale. And 4. And 5, and inhale. Exhale, 6, and inhale. 7, and inhale. And 8, and inhale. 9, nice. And 10, if you want to hold it, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and yeah, that one feels like it's almost like gonna fail. I can't hold it out there in that right range of motion. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this lighter band. We're gonna go and put it and loop it So we can do external and internal rotation, which are the second and third in that shoulder stabilizer, okay? So I go to about a doorknob height. I might put the band and either tie a knot if it's a doorknob, because you might be afraid that it's gonna fling off of it. For me, since I have a looped item, I don't need to do that, so I'm gonna just loop it around once. I'm gonna take the one tail and just hold it to my hip. And the other tail, I'm gonna grab it and go palm up. So from here, I can even step away a little bit to create a little more tension, just the right amount. And now I'm gonna go internal rotation, cover my stomach, and then uncover my stomach. 1. Let's do it again. 2, and release. Exhale, 3, and release. And 4, and inhale. This one is less important that you're breathing with the number 5, and inhale. Exhale, 6, because it's not as big of a muscle group. Really what I want is really good form. 7, and inhale. And 8, and inhale. Exhale, 9, and in. And exhale, 10, and slowly return. Good. All right. So instead of like completely coming out of it, what you can do is basically take the other tail of the hand. This is typically the one that you haven't been using, and it grabs one of the bands and the other one goes to your hip. It's now covering up your stomach with this right arm, and you're actually covering the stomach up. So let me just make sure you see that my palm is up and it's like, let's cover my belly button, okay? So I know that that may be a big deal that I show that to you, but I want you to make sure palm is up. Okay, now, here we go. Palm is up. 1, and inhale. Notice my elbow tries my best to not let any sun come through, you know, so you can't see that white. 2, and inhale. Step away from your anchor point if needed. 3, and inhale. Exhale, 4, and inhale. 5, and in. Exhale, 6, and inhale. 7, and inhale. And 8, and inhale. 9, and inhale. And 10, and take a break. So now what we've done is we've done 1 on each side. So if by chance you don't have another anchor point, simply turn around and I will direct you similarly, and you will basically do the other arm, both exercises. For me, I can face you, so because I have another anchor point on the other side of the room. So let's start with the first one. One tail is on the one hip, and the other one is palm up. And then from here, you cover your stomach up. So this is palm up, cover your stomach. 1, and release it. So this is your right arm is covering your stomach. 2, and inhale. And 3, and inhale. And it's always important that you're feeling resistance both ways. 4, and inhale. Exhale, 5, and return. Exhale, 6, and return. And 7, and return. And 8, and inhale. And 9, and inhale. And 10, and slowly return home. Okay, so I wanted to make a comment. I don't know what I was going to say. Okay, switch arms. So as you switch arms now, this tail, you know, the right hand is on your hip, and the left one is covering your stomach with your forearm up. So palm is up if possible. Now we're going. 1. A little stronger on this side, so I'm going to step away. 2, and return. Exhale, 3, and return. You might have to soften your knees a little. 4, and inhale. Exhale, 5, and inhale. And 6, and inhale. 7, and return. And 8, and return. And 9, and inhale. And 10, and take a break. Good job. Okay, so I know our upper body has done a lot of work, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a break by doing some little bit of lower body before we leave this. We'll do what we call speed skating, and then we'll do a little balance, which will be really hard because our lower body's probably going to be tired by then. So I want to make a comment about this. In let's say a yoga class, we might do this movement where our feet are turned out and we bend the knee, right? But in this class, there are times when we do this, but not here, okay? So let me just be clear. This is not a foot that's turned out as you go to a lunge. If possible, could you put feet parallel? This is what we call speed skating. And when we do this, it's really important to understand that in the side view, it looks like this. See how my chest is dropping? And I'm coming home to the top. Let me show you the front view of me doing it so you can do it with me too. Feet are definitely parallel, not turned out. It looks like this. Okay, see, so I'm like, oh boy, if I drop my chest, I bend it, stick my butt back, and coming back home. So let's just say you can't go that far. It bothers you. Then don't go that far. Just don't drop. Just go to the place where it feels right. Okay, now we repeat it on the same side if possible for 10, and then we hold it for 5, okay? Depending on how you feel. So easier version could be arms forward in genie or in front. That's easier. Okay, so this is easier. And then coming up all the way. To make it harder, arms at a genie. And 2. And coming up. To make it even harder, hands behind you. 3. And coming up. Find the one that's right for you, either arms forward, genie, or behind. And 4. And coming up. Go all the way to the top. Coming down 5 and up to the top. And 6 and to the top. And 7 and to the top. And 8 and to the top. And 9 and to the top. And 10. I think this is actually the harder version if you put your hands forward. Like this, genie. 5, 4. Yep, that makes it 3. It's debatable. 2, 1, come to the top. Okay, so it just depends. And you remember, it's all about good form. It's not about, oh, how much worse can I make it? But find which one's the one that you can maintain and hold when you do the holds. Let's go to the other side, okay? So now we can practice here. Feet are parallel, just a reminder, look at them. Are they turned out? Don't let them be turned out. The moment you turn it out, it becomes a warrior 2, 1, whatever you want to call it. Warrior 2, like in yoga. Not the same exercise, feet back parallel. Ready? Go. 1, and coming up. Oh, and 2, and coming up. And 3, and coming up. And 4, and coming up. And 5, and coming up. And 6, and coming up. And 7, and coming up. And 8, and coming up. 9, and inhale. 10, will you join me at the bottom? If needed, you can put your hand down. 5, on that knee. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, to the top. Good job, guys. Heel toe, get those feet back in. Let's go to biceps. So I'm going to grab that band. I'm gonna tuck it underneath my feet. We rarely do something like this. Maybe we would do this on the Cadillac or the trapeze, standing with the springs are anchored to the bottom rings. If you were gonna do it in like an equipment class, we're going here. 1, we can do it with bands. It's perfectly fine. 2, or maybe seated on the box on the reformer. 3, and 4. Always thinking, how can I make my posture more stronger? 5, exhale. 6, are you working full range of motion or are you limiting it? 7, inhale, exhale. 8, and inhale. Exhale. 9, and inhale. And 10, and take a break. Good job, guys. Okay, so we try to keep our legs nice and straight, put the loops around your feet, and then from here, we grab the band and we pull it fairly tight to our ribs. 1, and we release. There's always tension on the muscle. 2, and release. Exhale. 3, and release. And I never rush this one. 4, and release. So this is a tough one for it to be hard enough for many people. So if you feel like, oh, I don't know, I can't seem, I'm getting kind of tired of grabbing tighter, and it's not hard enough. 6, you could hinge back a little. So you can hinge back a little. 7, but don't let your chest move. 8, and inhale. Exhale. 9, and inhale. And 10, and let's hold here. 1, can you kind of make it so you can feel the quiver? 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job. From here, take a break. Good job. My second favorite pulling action really requires that lighter band.